Thank you so much for joining me as we take a look at all the games in my Nintendo Switch collection. My name is Paul, aka 90s Handheld Gamer, and I figured I'd start this video off by looking at all the JRPGs in my Switch collection. And the first one that I want to look at is Fire Emblem Three Houses, because this is my #1 Nintendo Switch game of all time. This is such a phenomenal game, a turn-based RPG that has 3 different routes with pretty much 3 different stories. And actually, let me correct myself here. There's 4 different routes in this game. This game is just absolutely wonderful. The music, the story, the characters, the strategy RPG turn-based gameplay. And then I do have the spin-off that I haven't played yet, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Now this turns it into what they call a Muso game, or basically kind of like a hack and slash RPG where you're mowing down like a huge hordes of enemies, but it does still keep a lot of the elements from the original Fire Emblem Three Houses, and this is basically like an alternate story, even adds like a new protagonist to the game, so that's pretty cool. I need to play that one eventually. And then I do have the original Fire Emblem Warriors here. This is one that I really haven't played either, but just because Three Houses won my heart over so much, I just went ahead and bought every Fire Emblem game that I could. And then of course right here I do have Fire Emblem Engage, which I also do have the special edition for, sitting like way up in my closet. I didn't want to bring it down, but this is another really good game. I'd say that the combat in this one is actually superior to Fire Emblem Three Houses, and while it has a solid story and some cool characters, I feel like it doesn't surpass Fire Emblem Three Houses in those ways. I still prefer Three Houses, but this is a phenomenal game as well that I definitely think you should have in your Nintendo Switch collection. And then right here we have Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore, and this was basically supposed to be like a collab between Atlas and Fire Emblem. Kind of turned out to be more of its own thing, but it does have Fire Emblem characters in it. The combat is kind of like a typical Atlas game, kind of similar as Shin Megami Tensei, but the story and characters are more kind of like Persona-like, I want to say, even though I haven't played a Persona game. You know, this one has like a real big J-pop setting. You're supposed to be like a J-pop kind of star. A lot of the characters are. Pretty cool game. I did enjoy it. And then right here, one of my favorite Nintendo Switch games of all time as well, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. I did have the original Shin Megami Tensei 5, but I ended up trading it. I kind of want to get it back for the collection now, even though this is the way better game with the way better story, way better gameplay. You can see the nice steelbook here. Now this one is definitely a little bit on the creepy side, but the combat is top tier. The story's really good. The character designs, environments, graphics look really good even on the Nintendo Switch. Right here I have Persona 5 Royal. I'll keep it coming with the Atlas games. This is one that I need to play. I know this is a lot of people's favorite JRPG. It's considered one of the all-time greats. I have played the SMT games, but I still haven't played the Persona games. And then right here I have Persona 3 Portable from Limited Run. This is one of my newer additions to the collection. And then I should have did this after Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, but I have Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne here, another Shin Megami Tensei game that I still do need to play. I know a lot of people say this is the best Shin Megami Tensei game. I can't lie, I'm a little bit intimidated to play that one just because I know it has the random encounters and all that, but I definitely will get to it. And then right here I have the spin-off of Persona 5, Persona 5 Tactica. Right here, this is like a strategy RPG of Persona 5 with the characters and the world and everything. And this game isn't a JRPG, but since we're looking at Atlas games, I figured I'd throw this in here. Catherine Full Body. This is basically kind of like a puzzle game mixed with a little bit of kind of life sim, maybe almost visual novel, I want to say. Not really a visual novel, maybe more the life sim aspect. This game is a ton of fun, has a ton of different endings. The puzzle gameplay is just so addicting. It's not just a regular puzzle, more like a puzzle platformer. It definitely does have a really dark story though, you know, but this is probably one of my favorite games of all time as well. And then another Atlas game, not technically developed by Atlas, but published by them. This is developed by Vanillaware, Unicorn Overlord. I hear this is a phenomenal strategy RPG. And you may notice a theme here that I haven't played a lot of these JRPGs that I own because, I mean, these games take a ton of time to get through. But I have played some of the big ones. Grimoire here, published by NIS America. This is another one that's developed by Vanillaware, and this is a strategy RPG, kind of like a real-time strategy RPG. I've heard that the combat and all that can be pretty complex and hard to get into, but I've heard that it's really good. Then right here, I've got Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. I've actually never played this one either, but I've heard that these games are really phenomenal. These are originally Game Boy Advance games. And then Ni no Kuni 2 I have here. I know I have Ni no Kuni somewhere in here as well. I tried to organize this the best that I could, but I don't have all the time in the world, and then I have to go to work tonight and all that, so bear with me here, but it is going to be mostly organized. I have the Xenoblade games, Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 2, Xenoblade 2 Torna, Xenoblade 3, Xenoblade X. And honestly, I haven't played any other than Xenoblade X, and I need to get back to X because I did an optional thing on a side quest where it like locked me into that where I can't go any further and I have to collect like certain I'll just say things that like regenerate over time. So I felt like so disrespected by the game that it locked me in and didn't let me progress, because I'm probably going to be stuck there like at least maybe an hour minimum, I'm hoping, but I got to get back to that one eventually. I was hoping for the Switch 2 upgrade soon, but I'm going to take just a short detour from the RPGs because I was going to start my video off like this. But let's just take a look at all the Zelda games for the Nintendo Switch. Breath of the Wild, I would say this is the game that really got me back into gaming, gave me that spark for gaming again. This is an absolute masterpiece. Open world Zelda game, still has the puzzles with the shrines. Eventide Isle or Island is probably my favorite part of this game. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the combat in this game as well, the exploration. This game is just so wonderful. Then we have Tears of the Kingdom here, which I put like 60 hours, maybe 65 hours into, and then I just dropped it. But I do need to get back to it. For me, honestly, I kind of prefer the simplicity of Breath of the Wild over like all the mineral or item gathering that you have to do in this one, plus the building and all that. Like, it's cool technically. I guess, you know, this is the better game, has more things you can do, more content. The depths, honestly, the depths was another thing I really wasn't crazy about in this game. The Sky Islands were pretty cool, but I still prefer Breath of the Wild, and I hate the Gloom Hands, how they can just pop up anywhere on the map and make you have a battle with Ganondorf. I felt like that restricts you a little more, and I'll be honest, it's a harder game than Breath of the Wild, but at the same time, I feel like it kind of restricts the exploration from you more, which is why I don't like it as much, but I will get back to it. Then I have The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom and The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening is a remake, of course, and I need to get that GameStop sticker off of there, huh? But let's look at the inside artwork of Link's Awakening. Looks really nice. And Echoes of Wisdom looks pretty nice too, although I prefer the Link's Awakening artwork. We have The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors here, which this one is technically like an action RPG Musou game. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and there's the new Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment coming out soon, but that's only going to be for the Switch 2, which I do have, but I mean, it's not a Switch 1 game. Cadence of Hyrule, we have here a spin-off that is a rhythm Zelda game, and then we have The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD right here. This is one that I gotta admit, I still need to play this one, but I had to add it to the collection either way. And some more JRPGs to look at that, yeah, I still need to play. Atelier Ryza. And these games have really nice artwork. Oh, I guess this one doesn't. I remember some of the other ones having, do they have? Yeah, this one, Atelier Ryza 2. Some nice inside artwork here. And these are turn-based RPGs that have a lot of emphasis on like crafting, stuff like that. I can say that I started the first one up, Atelier Ryza 3 here, and it looked amazing on my Nintendo Switch OLED. I know they're coming out with the like definitive versions of these games, but I'm probably just gonna play the originals since those are the ones I already spent my money on. Atelier Selfie 2 should be showing the cover art before the inside artwork, but I feel like the inside artwork on a lot of Switch games is just so cool. Blue Reflection Second Light. Now this is a total JRPG hidden gem. It's made by the same developers of the Atelier games, I believe. It has a nice art style, has a pretty good story, really good combat. It's turn-based, but it almost feels like real time. It goes pretty quick. Really good game. Alliance Alive HD Remastered. This is like the Korean version, I think, that has English on it, because the English version of this game got really expensive. So if you have that in your collection, you have a rare game there. Suikoden 1 and 2 Remastered. Still sealed, as you can hear. I haven't played these, but I heard they're classics, and I do need to get to them. If only I could find the time to play all these games. Monster Hunter Stories 2. Does this have any artwork? Nope. The Legend of Nayuta Boundless Trails. Now, this is a spin-off of the Trails series, but really nice artwork in there. And then I have Trails in the Sky First Chapter, which this is going to be my entry point into the Trails series, and I do plan to get to this one pretty soon, hopefully sooner than later. Trails into Reverie for the Nintendo Switch. Nice artwork in there as well. Trails from Zero and Trails from Azure, which are still both sealed. I do plan to play them. Definitely don't plan to sell these or anything like that, but I'm just going to keep them sealed for now. I feel like it keeps them more protected anyway. Ys Origin, and I love this game. I have played it, but the physical copy is sealed because I liked it so much that after buying the digital version for $8, I was like, you know what? I need to own a physical copy of this game. This game is phenomenal. One of my favorite action RPGs on the Nintendo Switch. The action combat is just so fluid, so fast. The story is good, the music's good, just a really good all-around game. Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Donna, and I got the PEGI 12 version because when I got this, the ESRB rated version was just really hard to find, was getting pretty expensive. And then I do have Ys 9, Monstrum Nox right here as well. Inside artwork and booklet and all of that. Silent Hope for the Nintendo Switch. This is still sealed. I do plan to play this one eventually because Happy Console Gamer and his wife Kim sold me on this game with the review they did on their channel. Other than them, I really hadn't heard too many people talk about this game, but it looks really good. I've heard the combat is kind of like Hades, but it is an action RPG. You can get like different classes. You go like dungeon diving to go as far as you can before you have to go back up. Something like that anyway. But let's keep it going with the JRPGs here. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition. This has like 2 games on it. Of course, these are monster collecting RPGs. Heard that it's a really good game. Digimon Story Survive. No, oh yeah, this does have artwork. That's pretty cool. And this is like, I've heard this is more visual novel than anything, but it does have some strategy RPG gameplay mixed in. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX. Pretty cool portraits of the Pokemon inside the artwork there. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. And this is probably the only Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch that I've actually really liked. And that's why it's like the only mainline Pokemon game in my collection for the Nintendo Switch. But I will admit I haven't played the remakes of Diamond or Pearl, but honestly, I didn't really like those games too much as a kid. Super Mario RPG, really good short RPG. If you want to play something on the shorter side, you can knock this out in like 15 hours. Has really good turn-based gameplay with the button mechanics. You have to kind of press them in real time to land your attacks and dodge your attacks. Really good, charming game. Paper Mario, The Thousand-Year Door. I haven't played this game yet, but my cousin swears by it and was telling me for a while that I needed to play it. Astral Chain. Really cool inside artwork. I haven't played this one. I've heard it's a total hidden gem, really good action game for the Nintendo Switch. Some people say it's an RPG. Some people say it isn't. But hey, if you're still watching this and you like my content, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit a like on this video. Please give me those hype points on this video if you can to help me spread it out in the algorithm. I really would appreciate you so much because these collection videos take a while to do. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Now I've heard this is more visual novel, comes with these cards than anything, but it does have like some tower defense RPG gameplay mixed in it. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. And this is a game that the art style is actually done by Studio Ghibli, which is really cool. I know I showed Ni no Kuni 2 in the video, and while they did remain with a similar art style, Studio Ghibli didn't actually work on that one, but they actually worked on all the animated cutscenes and the art for this game, which is really cool. I think that's a must-have in your collection if you're a Studio Ghibli fan. Now we're gonna get into all my Square Enix JRPGs that I have on the Nintendo Switch, starting with Triangle Strategy. This uses the HD 2D art style. Haven't played this one yet, but I have heard that it is a phenomenal game. I've heard a lot of people say that it's one of the best strategy JRPGs of all time. Neo, is this The World Ends With You? Yeah, The World Ends With You Final Remix. So this is a remake of the DS game, which I haven't played, but I have played the sequel, Neo, The World Ends With You. Really, really good. I don't even know what I'm showing there. There's not even any inside artwork. Really good, underrated action RPG, I would say. The Dio Field Chronicle. Don't know too much about that one other than it's a real-time strategy RPG. The reception on it might be a little mixed. Dragon Quest XI. I've heard this is a masterpiece on the Nintendo Switch that I probably should play sooner than later. Probably just need to stack a good amount of Switch games up that are like the heavy hitters that I really need to play. Dragon Quest Builders 2. Now this is kind of more like an action spin-off that has you building stuff, I guess, kind of similar to like Minecraft, I want to say. Star Ocean, the Second Story R. This has a really cool art style. Kind of like 2D characters with 3D environments. Looks really cool. Heard it's a really good game. Live Alive. Now this is one of my favorite JRPGs that I've played on the Nintendo Switch. This is a remake of a game from like the 90s where you have all these different stories that almost feel like their own individual games. It feels like they could have added on to them if they wanted. And then in the last chapter, it all kind of comes together in one story. Really cool game. I really like the combat too. It's turn-based, but kind of on a grid a little bit, but not completely like a typical strategy RPG. The art style is really good. The stories in here are good. It has some phenomenal music. I would highly recommend adding this to your Switch collection if you don't have it already. And if you like turn-based JRPGs that really have in-depth battle systems, if you like classic job systems, then another must-own, I would say, is Bravely Default 2. This is a really, really good game. Nier Automata, haven't played it, heard it's phenomenal. Collection of Mana. I'm hoping that I'll like the games in this collection because I tried Trials of Mana for the Switch. Don't get mad at me if you like it, please. But I didn't like Trials of Mana, so I just traded it. Final Fantasy 1 through 6 collection. I haven't played any Final Fantasy game yet. Probably more inclined to start with one of the newer ones, but I did want to pick up this classic collection to see what all the hype is about with those games. Final Fantasy X and X-2. Does my cartridge sound loose in here? I guess it was just the paper in there that was loose. Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age. As far as Final Fantasy X, I know this is a great all-time RPG, another one I want to play. I just always remember seeing my cousin in his freshman year of high school dedicate like his whole life to this game. It was pretty funny. All he wanted to do was play Final Fantasy X. Harvestella, I hear, is a total underrated hidden gem for the Nintendo Switch. Kind of action RPG with some light farming elements. I hear it's more action RPG than anything. Final Fantasy Crisis Core Reunion. I'll probably play this after I play Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade for the Switch 2 when that comes out. And then here I have Octopath Traveler. Some cool inside artwork there. And for some reason, they didn't do the same for Octopath Traveler 2. Come on, Square Enix, you might as well keep the tradition going, right? And I think these are gonna be the last JRPGs in my collection unless I missed any. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. This is a classic action JRPG. Really nice, colorful, vibrant art style that looks phenomenal on a Switch OLED. Really good combat system, but you have to stick with it a little. It starts off very bland, but as you level up, you keep getting more moves and it really opens up, gets better. The story is solid too. It has some charming characters. Rune Factory 4 Special, Rune Factory 3 Special. These are kind of like JRPGs mixed with like life farming sim type games. And then I have Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, but this isn't just a Nintendo Switch game because the Switch 2 Edition also has the Switch 1 version on the cartridge. So if you have a Switch 1, you can buy Nintendo Switch 2 Editions just like Fantasy Life I, the Girl Who Steals Time. This is a really good game. It's another kind of like life farming sim mixed with a JRPG in it as well. I would highly recommend picking this up if that type of game is your thing. And then this is not a JRPG, but I just figured I'd throw it in here since we're looking at Nintendo Switch 2 Editions, Story of Seasons, Grand Bazaar Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. This is an actual true farming sim. The graphics, the art style look really good on this game, and I was just inclined to pick it up because I'm collecting for the Switch 2 now as well, and as you all know, there aren't as many true physical games for the Switch 2 like the Switch 1 has. Fate Extella Relink, kind of an action JRPG kind of Musou style game. Never played this one. Dang, and honestly, I can't remember the name of this game right now because it's in Japanese. I know if I put it in my Switch, it would tell me. But if you could remember the name of this game or what it is, let us know down in the comments because dang, I cannot even remember right now. The only thing I do remember about this game is that I covered it in the past and the company, dang, I forgot who they were. They were under Square Enix and they kind of like got disbanded, but they freaking like flagged one of my videos and killed the monetization on it. So thanks for that, guys. Daemon X Machina. This is a mech kind of action RPG style game. Haven't played it. I tried the demo for the sequel on the Switch 2 and I didn't like it, but maybe this one I would like better. Anno Mutationum, kind of an action JRPG, looks really cool. Has that like cyberpunk kind of style in 2D. Has some really cool like nightlight type of color art style. This one looks like a lot of fun. I heard it's a total hidden gem, and I actually heard another YouTube channel that I really enjoy watching, Orbalology, recommend that one. And The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition. It isn't a JRPG, but it is a Western RPG that I actually haven't played yet, but I do need to get around to it, huh? And since we are looking at all the games in my Nintendo collection, Nintendo Switch collection, I figured I'd dedicate a whole section to Nintendo's mascot himself, Super Mario. Even though we already looked at Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door because I covered that in the JRPG RPG section. But let's start off with Super Mario Odyssey. Truly, arguably, probably the best 3D platformer of all time with big open-ended, almost open world-like areas, the platforming, the Cappy abilities, just everything about this game is so much fun. The collectibles that you can get different costumes with. And then we have Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. 3D World is a phenomenal kind of hybrid platformer of the 2D and 3D games. And then you got Bowser's Fury, which makes up the inside artwork here, which is a really fun, complete open world 3D Mario game, although it is a bit on the shorter side. And then, oops, my Switch games are falling over here as I stack them. Of course, I had to have Super Mario 3D All-Stars. And yeah, my nose is a little itchy. I probably sound a little nasally, kind of a little allergy. But Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which has Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy, all on one cartridge. Really cool that Nintendo did this collection. You can see screenshots of the different games on the inside artwork here. Does have soundtracks for all the games on here. And then, of course, a sucker Nintendo fan like me would repurchase Super Mario Galaxy bundled with Super Mario Galaxy 2 here. But I have been playing Galaxy 2, and I have to say it's phenomenal. I actually never played it back on the Wii, and I don't know if I'm going to like it more than Odyssey, but it could end up being one of my favorite all-time Mario games. Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. This game kind of got a lot of hate, but it is a really solid platformer. It can be really challenging too, and it does have the Luigi U game bundled in on here as well. The last of the new Super Mario Brothers games right there. And then we do have Super Mario Brothers Wonder, which to me was kind of a return to form for 2D Mario, just taking it back to the greatness that it deserves to be at. The art style is breathtaking in this game. The gameplay, the platforming is a lot of fun. They did kind of keep it more accessible for everyone, but it does have those hidden challenges that can get really, really difficult. And I will say that what separates this 2D Mario game from every other 2D Mario game, at least for me, and makes it one of the all-time greats to me behind Super Mario 3 and Super Mario World, you can maybe make an argument that it's up there with them, is that this is the best multiplayer 2D Mario game that I have ever played. The multiplayer is so much fun with this game, whether you're playing it local co-op or even online. It's just a lot of fun, and I'm kind of looking forward to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, actually, even though I don't like, you know, games getting re-releases with DLC. I wish they would have did that from the beginning. But Super Mario Maker 2, another phenomenal 2D Mario game, which does have a single-player campaign, but it also has, you know, of course, where you can build all kind of different levels, download other people's levels. Really good game to have in the collection. And then some more kind of spin-off Mario games, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Super Mario Party Superstars. I still haven't played Jamboree, but Superstars is really good. Has a lot of the classic N64 and GameCube mini games and boards mixed in there. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, not a Mario game, but I mean, he's from the Mario universe. Really good puzzle platformer game. I think it's more fun to play in short bursts. Yoshi's Crafted World, really charming, kind of collect-a-thon, more like laid-back, cozy 2D platformer, which of course has the, you know, kind of like handcrafted art style thing going on with it. Solid game. And then we have Mario versus Donkey Kong here. This is an underrated puzzle platformer where of course you face off in boss battles against the big giant gorilla, Donkey Kong himself. I feel like this one is underrated and not enough people picked it up because it isn't the mainline Mario adventure game and it's a puzzle platformer, but it's definitely worth having in the collection. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, of course, one of the greatest racing games, one of the greatest kart racing games of all time. Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, I played a little bit of it. You know, some of the game modes are pretty cool. I do really like how it has, as it show it on the back here, yeah, the little 2D mode where you can play games in 2D. I thought that was a really cool feature on there. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, played a little bit of it on the Wii, still haven't played the Switch version, and on the 3DS I played it, never beat it. But I have gotten pretty far lately in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. A lot of people say it's one of the greatest 2D platformers of all time, and I think I'm gonna agree with them because I've been having a lot of fun with this one. I'm on World 5. I need to go ahead and wrap up that playthrough because it's definitely a great game. Paper Mario, the Origami King. A lot of people don't like this game. Some people say it's underrated. The art style looks cool. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which is the sequel to Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. These are both like strategy games made by Ubisoft, and of course they use the Mario characters. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Of course, our man Mario is in this one of the best fighting games, kind of party games of all time. Of course, you can see all the portraits of the different characters in the inside artwork. And the final game, because Mario's in it as well, is Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. And I'm even wearing the hat in this video, which I got from the My Nintendo store. That was an exclusive on there. I could have kept it sealed as a collector's item, maybe even resold it for a good amount of money, but I said, what the heck, I'm just gonna wear it. And I almost missed another game that of course does take place in the Mario universe, Luigi's Mansion 3. This might be the best graphical game on the Nintendo Switch. The graphics in this game are absolutely phenomenal. Kind of almost looks like a Pixar movie. So after playing this game right here, Streets of Rage 4, beat 'em ups have definitely become one of my favorite genres on the Nintendo Switch. Of course, this comes with the keychain, the character art book. If you don't have this in your collection, I highly recommend it, but there is an anniversary edition available now that does have all the DLC available on the cartridge. Fightin' Rage is a really true hidden gem for the Nintendo Switch, a really phenomenal beat 'em up, arguably one of the greatest beat 'em ups of all time. This is an indie game that I hear was developed by pretty much one person. It has multiple routes you can go on, 3 main playable characters with their own unique fighting styles. Definitely challenging, but when you learn the pattern of enemies, you know, you can definitely play the game without struggling too much. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. This is a lot of people's favorite beat 'em up. This is a really good game as well. Not my #1 favorite, but really solid and a really fun co-op multiplayer game, which I feel is where it shines because it is, you know, it can be challenging, but it's accessible. I think anybody can pick it up and played it with my daughters, had a lot of fun. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga collection. Now this has all the classic, you know, 2D beat 'em up Ninja Turtle games on here. Definitely a must have if you're a beat 'em up fan. And then we do have Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons. I feel like this is kind of a hidden gem in its own right. Comes with the poster, stickers and everything. This one has multiple routes you can take as well. You can choose to play any level in any different order, which can result in you getting different final boss battles. This game is a ton of fun, really good combat, tons of playable characters and unlockables. You can play it as a roguelike if you'd like to, or you can use your in-game currency to just keep playing if you get the game over. It's a lot of fun. And of course, I've got some more Double Dragon with Double Dragon Neon. This is a really solid beat 'em up. Definitely not one of my favorites, but it is a really solid game, I would say. It's competent, plays a little more kind of really slow and methodical compared to other beat 'em ups, but it is pretty good. Has a kind of 3D art style, even though it's in 2D. Really solid, competent game, and this physical release for the Switch is by Limited Run, and I do have the Double Dragon collection that I bought before the US release came out. I didn't know if we were going to get a physical release here, so I got the Japanese version, which does have English all on the cartridge and all that. Capcom Belt Action collection. Now this is one that we never got a physical for here in the US. In the US we got it digitally, and it's called the Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle. Has a bunch of different games on it, like Final Fight, few other really good beat 'em ups that I played on this collection as well. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rewind. This is only like a 2-hour, maybe 3-hour game, but it is a really good beat 'em up. It has some on-rails shooter stages mixed in, but the art style is really good. The gameplay is really good. The graphics, music is really good. Definitely has a lot of fan service for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fans. And the gameplay feels kind of similar to Shredder's Revenge, but just a bit slower to me. Castle Crashers Remastered. Glad to have this in the collection. I haven't played it yet, though. This is kind of on the rare and expensive side for the Switch, but I think you can maybe get it from like Video Games Plus, or maybe from the developer site themselves, the Behemoth. The Ninja Saviors Return of the Warriors. Now this, I believe, is kind of like a remake or follow-up to a classic Super Nintendo game. It is really difficult. It definitely has its own flow that makes it stand apart from other beat 'em ups. Really truly feels like a Super Nintendo game. Really difficult, but really fun. And this one, I don't know if it's a true beat 'em up. It's in 3D, but it plays like a beat 'em up. Excuse me. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. This is the Black Order. Yeah, this is a really fun game. Of course, you've got all your classic Marvel characters on here. And this is actually a Nintendo Switch exclusive. So for the final part of this video, I did not organize the games because I just don't have a lot of time. I've got to go to work tonight and all that, but I do have some really good games and even some more hidden gems to recommend. So please stay tuned if you enjoy these Nintendo Switch collection videos. And also, if you've enjoyed the video and you're still watching and haven't, please hit that like button. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel for more Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 content. But Disney Classics Collection. Now this one has 3 games on it. I can't remember if one of them might be a download and not on the cartridge, but if you can still find this game for $20 of less, I think this is really good value. You have the different versions of Aladdin, like the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis versions, and I believe of the Jungle Book as well. The only ones that I've really played are Aladdin and The Lion King. I believe you do have both versions of that as well that were on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. Really difficult platformer, really hard. The Aladdin one is definitely more accessible. It's challenging as well. These are games from the 90s, of course, but these games are a lot of fun, and I feel like that collection is definitely worth owning. And then here we do have Clubhouse games, 51 worldwide classics. You have all kind of stuff on here like chess, Connect 4, checkers. You even have like toy baseball, toy boxing. This is a lot of fun. You have all kind of fun games on here. This is worth having, especially if you want a little mini game collection to play with family and friends. Hollow Knight, a lot of hype around Hollow Knight Silk Song right now. I have the first one still sealed. I might have to unseal that soon. I know my cousin has been really enjoying this game lately. After Hollow Knight 2 came out, he decided to play the first one, and I do have the version here that has all the DLC on it, so that's pretty cool to have in the collection. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Yeah, I did play some of this one, right? Yeah, I did play some of this one. Really cool kind of interactive visual novel where you're playing as an attorney. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. I had to look at it just to make sure I'm saying it right, because that's a long title, but this is a really good fighting game on the Nintendo Switch. Doesn't really get talked about much, but it is a really good game. Kind of plays like King of Fighters, has some really over-the-top, wacky, crazy action. And then we do have Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. Really good collection of fighting games on here. But the underrated gem on here is the, am I pointing at the right game? Where's it at? Where's it at? Ah, the Punisher. The Punisher beat 'em up. If you like beat 'em ups, hey, you get some good fighting games and a good beat 'em up in this one. And then right here we do have Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. Still sealed here. I've heard these games are really good though. And I'm sitting here with like stacks of Nintendo Switch games around me, so hopefully they don't come tumbling down. Broforce. Shout out to my guy again, Rad Bash. Channel on YouTube is Rad Bash Gaming. You should go type him in, subscribe to him. Really good friend of the channel. He recommended this hidden gem to me, which is a 2D kind of shooter action game. Really a lot of fun to play multiplayer with as well, where you play as like classic movie star characters like Terminator or trying to think of other ones. I can't even remember right now, but you remember, if you know classic, movie characters, they'll be in this game. Blade, all kind of characters like that. Really cool game. Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered. Never played them, but that's why I had to buy it, because I know they're classics. Figured I'd check it out. New Super Lucky's Tale, one of my favorite 3D platformers for the Nintendo Switch. Really good game. It has mainly 3D platformer stages, but there are some puzzle stages. There are some kind of like auto run level 2D stages as well, so it mixes it up. You can unlock different costumes, kind of like in Mario Odyssey. Really good, and I would say if you're a fan of 3D platformers, must own for your game collection. Castlevania Advance Collection, limited run game here. I guess you could say this is rare game because it was kind of made to be that way by Limited Run, right? See the inside artwork, and they did do different cover variants for these, which is really cool, but this is the one that I chose to pick. I bought this from Video Games Plus. The Messenger, this used to be a really rare and expensive Switch game, but then they came out with a standard retail version, so I had to pick it up. ARMS, I believe this is an underrated Nintendo Switch exclusive fighting game. A lot of fun, maybe not too heavy on the content, but still a really good game. And it's been maybe at least a year or two since I went online, but I was surprised when I went back to it to see how active the online scene was still for that game. Warhammer 40,000, Shoot Us, Blood and Teeth. And I'm not pronouncing it wrong because that's how they spelled it, okay? And this is kind of like a 2D shoot 'em up shooter action game. Seems really tough as nails. I haven't really played a lot of it. Splatoon 3, one of the best Nintendo Switch exclusives of all time. Of course, this is a third-person shooter, but it's its own thing. You know, you kind of got to ink up the territory with your own color ink, and then you can swim through your own. If you go into enemies, you know, it hurts your health. Really a lot of fun. Actually, is my cartridge in here? No, I got that in the Switch too, so kind of need to get back into playing that one. Just such a fun game to pick up and play. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, 2D platformer from the Wii era, which got a remake, remaster on the Switch, which with enhanced visuals, some extra content, has a new Magalore mode campaign, some new mini games. I need to play that one soon. Metroid Dread. Now, this is one that I was really enjoying, but I just ended up dropping it because I was playing like Tokyo Mirage Sessions at the same time as this game, but I really need to get back to it. This is a fantastic 2D Metroid, or as people like to call them, Metroidvania games these days. Looks phenomenal on a Switch OLED, and even though I have the Switch 2, this is one that I would probably rather play on the Switch OLED because there's a lot of dark environments, and of course that OLED screen has the true blacks. MEO, The Smiling Man. I said I was going to get back to this one, and I still do. Really good visual novel from what I've played of it, with some really good music, and this is kind of a hidden gem. I feel like this is a Nintendo Switch exclusive that could truly end up being rare and expensive further on down the line. Kaze and the Wild Mask, another hidden gem that was recommended to me by some YouTube friends of the channel, Fem Trooper and Infernal Fox Gaming, kind of similar to the Donkey Kong Country games. Really good 2D platformer. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania. I guess it has the Castlevania DLC. This is like a hack and slash. Man, so many good Switch games that I still need to play. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. I played the first one. Excuse me. I need to get back to it. Kind of got that allergy stuff going on lately, so pardon me, please. Oddworld Collection, 3 classic 3D platformers all on here. Burnout Paradise Remastered, still sealed. I heard it's a really cool kind of open world racing game. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2. And I know this has the download required, but you can play both games fully on the cartridge. The download is for the multiplayer and for a performance patch, but I played this game offline without the update, and I had a lot of fun with it. So still worth having, even if you don't, you know, want to download the updates. Capcom Fighting Collection, one of the best fighting game compilations of all time because it has all the Darkstalkers games on it, and I'm really glad that I was able to play these games thanks to this collection. Truly phenomenal collection. Capcom Fighting Collection 2, there was a lot of hype around this collection for the Power Stone games. I checked them out and they're cool, but sorry, they're not better than the Darkstalkers games. The Darkstalkers games are absolute masterpieces. You need this collection, and I guess if you're gonna have that one, you might as well get this one too. Haven't spent as much time with this one, but that first one, wow, the games on that, some of the best arcade fighting games that I have ever played. Shadow of the Ninja Reborn, kind of a hidden gem. Yeah, I would say this is a hidden gem 2D action game. Remake of an NES game, kind of looks more like a Super Nintendo game with the remake. Really good 2D action combat, platforming, really fun game. Really challenging though. GTA Trilogy. This was a recent pickup, and I know this is kind of like a game key card. It does have the GTA 3 on the cartridge, but you got to download Vice City, San Andreas. Of course, these are Grand Theft Auto games. Everybody knows what these are. These are the classics. I grew up on those games, actually. Signalis, and the cartridge is probably in my Switch OLED carrying case. I got the, trying to see if I can do it in the angle. Yeah, you see that card, how it changes? That's pretty cool. This is actually a rare and expensive game. If you have the original version that came with that card, VGP Video Games Plus did reprints. You may still be able to get it there, but they did not have the reprints with that card. So glad to have that in the collection. Really good Resident Evil style horror game. Spyro, and I believe this is kind of like a key card as well. You see the download required. I don't know if anything is on the cartridge, but I never played the classic Spyro games. This is the classic trilogy, so I figured I'd pick it up. I got it for pretty cheap. Cuphead, played this a bit with my cousin, but I never beat this game. And man, this game is tough as nails. It's an action 2D, kind of a little bit of a shooter, platformer. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Rumble comes with the booklet and the game, because this is what, like some Legendary Banana Edition. Really good game, really good, fun, wacky kind of 3D platformer, not like your regular 3D platformer, because of course you're a monkey rolling around in a ball. Hades, I want to play this one. I've heard it's one of the greatest action games or roguelikes of all time, but I think I might just start with Hades 2 when that comes out, and then go back to the first one. Rocket Knight Adventures Restart. 3 classic games on here from the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. I think they're mainly from the Genesis, but there's like one Super Nintendo game on there. They're 2D platformers. Red Dead Redemption. Now, this is one of Rockstar's greatest games of all time. It kind of plays like GTA in a cowboy setting, but I would say it's much more mature. And not more mature in the way like it's more nasty or vulgar, but I think it has a more mature, competent story. And I actually like how this game takes itself a bit more serious. Now, there is the Undead Nightmare, which I would think it's pretty wacky. I haven't played that one, but this game is a lot of fun. I love the ending. I love the story of this game. I would say this is one of the best open world games of all time, action games. Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series has Klonoa 1 and 2 on it. Still haven't played them, but they're supposed to be classic 3D platformers. Game Builder Garage, I got this for cheap on sale a while back from GameStop. I think I got it for like, I don't know if it was 15 or 20, something close to that. Darius HD, cool shmup that I haven't played, but I wanted to have it for the collection. Another Code Recollection, a remake of a DS game and a Wii game, fully remade for the Nintendo Switch. This is a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Another one of those games that I could definitely see getting rare and expensive over time. Owlboy for the Nintendo Switch. This is kind of like a cool 2D adventure game. I don't know if it's Metroidvania, I think. Cruise and Blast, one of the best racing games, arcade racing style games that you can play on the Switch. And it is a console exclusive, but it is an arcade game that you can play at the arcade as well. But the Switch version has some exclusive content. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. Classic 3D platformer I need to play. River City Girls 1+2. Oops, I missed this when I did my beat 'em up section, but if you like beat 'em ups, this collection is definitely worth owning. And now they have River City Girls Complete Edition that has all that, and it also has River City Girls Zero, Pac-Man World Repack. Really good, I would say solid, not the best, but still a really solid classic 3D platformer. Pikmin 1+2. I only played Pikmin 1 so far, but a really good game. I need to get more into the Pikmin series. Pocky and Rocky Reshrined, a really good top-down shmup that is one of the greatest games I've ever played. Really challenging, but really rewarding. A lot of fun, really charming, cool story, cool characters and music. Cotton Reboot, Cotton Fantasy, another couple of shmups that are really cool, have really good art style, really fun gameplay, epic boss battles. SpongeBob SquarePants, the Patrick Star game. This is an open world kind of sandbox game where you could just do whatever you want. You can grab balloons and fly out. You can drive cars. You can get in roller coasters. You can do missions for SpongeBob, Squidward, and Sandy. It's a lot of fun. Pac-Man Museum Plus. I mean, this has all these classic Pac-Man games on it, all on the cartridge. This is definitely worth owning in your collection. Kirby Star Allies. This is more of a multiplayer Kirby focused game. Ace Attorney Investigations collection. Still sealed, but you know, it's an interactive visual novel where you play as an attorney, I believe. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, a new power set awakens. This is one that I missed putting in the JRPG section of this video, but it is an action JRPG. I heard it's really good, actually. Tunic. This is kind of similar to like top-down 2D Zelda. A lot of people say it's also mixed with like Dark Souls because it is very challenging, and I wasn't able to make it too far in that game yet. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, really good 2D platformer games on here. I never beat it, but really fun game. Ori the Collection. This is one that I need to keep out because I need to get back to this one. It has 2 games, all on the cartridge. Really cinematic, really good looking Metroidvania style games. I tried a little bit, and I definitely need to go for a full playthrough sometime soon. Pokemon or Pokken Tournament DX, really good underrated fighting game, exclusive for the Nintendo Switch. Maybe not completely exclusive because it was on the Wii U first, but I mean, not many people bought it, and the Switch version has exclusive content. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, self-explanatory. You get all these classic Street Fighter games. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. This is kind of similar to like Jet Set Radio. Haven't played it yet. Heard it's really good. Pikmin 4, still sealed because I'm trying to play the Pikmin games in order. I got to play 3 and 4 first. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid Super Edition. Now the Super Edition comes with 4 DLC packs. Not all the DLC, but a lot of it, so you get a good amount of characters. Really underrated, really good fighting game. Kind of like has that tag team where you can tag your players in and out, kind of similar to like Marvel vs. Capcom. Metroid Prime Remastered, still need to play it. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, really, really good. One of the best 3D platformers available on the Nintendo Switch. And there is a Switch 2 edition of it now with DLC, or you could just download the DLC if you have the Switch 2. Wild Guns Reloaded. Really good gallery shooter, Super Nintendo kind of sequel or remake. Yoku's Island Express. I've heard this is a total hidden gem Metroidvania, kind of mixed with pinball mechanics. SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake. Really underrated 3D platformer, really good game. Mega Man 11. Haven't played it, but this game makes me think of another YouTuber, Furl Inferno, who was on my first collab video, and he talked about this game. I definitely do need to play it. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, really good 2D Metroidvania that I haven't played. And I did not play $40, didn't pay that for this. I think what it was is I had a more expensive game that I wanted to take out of this case. I got this for like probably 30 back then. Rayman Legends Definitive Edition, really good 2D platformer game. A lot of people, I think, say this is like one of the best 2D platformers. Puyo Puyo Tetris, really good puzzle game. You can even play multiplayer, a lot of fun. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, still sealed because I still need to play Pikmin 2 before I play this one. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I've played a bit of Crash Bandicoot 1 and 2 on this. I definitely need to fully play through these games. They're really good classic 3D platformers, just like everyone says. Darius Burst EX Plus, another shmup. And that is it for my Nintendo Switch collection. When I was kind of just like trying to organize this, I kind of like roughly counted that I have around 190 games. It could have been a little less or a little more. So close to 200 games here. I'm not trying to actually add a whole lot more games because wow, owning so many games is kind of a lot. And I've heard that to keep your games running, you actually have to put the cartridge in and play them a little bit, or else your cartridge can die over time. Like if you like wait 10, 15 years and never play that cartridge because they run off of like flash memory. So that's a lot of upkeep for a big Nintendo Switch collection. But I really do appreciate you all watching this video so much. I'm sorry if I sound a little sick. I kind of Got this allergy stuff going on, a little bit of mucus in my throat and nasal, so sorry if I sound a little nasally, but thank you so much for watching this video, and I will catch you all on the next one.